You want to elevate your relationships, achieving a social life that is lighter, deeply respectful and genuinely happy. Then prepare to receive the blueprint, a detailed map of 10 simple yet profoundly transformative behaviors that redefine our daily interactions, one moment at a time. This isn't just about getting along, it's about connecting on a level so authentic, it changes your inner landscape. We're going to unpack 10 behaviors, 10 tiny shifts in perspective and action that will turn your interactions from frustrating transactions into meaningful, peace-producing exchanges. These aren't abstract theories. They are practical, immediate tools you can start using today to cultivate a richer, more harmonious existence. Let's dive into the first and arguably the most crucial pillar of healthy relationships, active listening. Active listening, stop and truly listen. The vast majority of people simply want to be understood, not corrected. Active listening is a profound, committed engagement, requiring you to consciously silence your internal monologue, the voice that is constantly crafting your reply. True listening is dedicating your cognitive resources entirely to the speaker's message, focusing not just on the words, but on the tone and the underlying emotion. The quiet wedge that drives people apart is when we are merely waiting to speak, rather than genuinely receiving. When a friend shares a struggle, a passive listener jumps to advice, assuming a fix is requested. An active listener, however, hears the fatigue and the unspoken request, "I need validation." They respond not with a solution, but with acknowledgement, perhaps saying, "That sounds incredibly frustrating and overwhelming." This simple reflection validates their experience, bypassing the need for correction, and transforming you into a sanctuary where vulnerability is welcomed. Empathy. Try to see the world through the other person's eyes. This fundamentally changes how we react and how we are perceived. Empathy is the cognitive and emotional effort to step into someone else's reality. It moves beyond mere sympathy, which is feeling sorry for someone, and into a space of understanding where we feel with them. Empathy acts as an immediate filter for judgment. Instead of reacting to surface behavior, like a colleague's abrasive tone or a loved one's illogical decision, you pause and ask, what might be driving this? This change in perspective depersonalizes conflict. If a driver cuts you off, the empathetic filter kicks in, prompting you to consider possibilities. Maybe they are rushing to the hospital. This thought instantly shifts your emotional state from reactive rage to neutral acceptance. When you interact from a place of empathy, you stop reacting to words as attacks and start seeing them as expressions of unfulfilled needs, softening your approach and building indestructible bridges. Respectful communication. Speak with clarity, without aggression. The way you say things matters just as much as the content itself. The majority of your message is conveyed through the manner in which you deliver it, your tone, cadence, and expression. Aggressive communication, overt or subtle, immediately triggers defensiveness, causing the listener to stop hearing your message and start preparing for battle. Respectful communication aims to keep their shields down, creating a climate conducive to understanding. This principle is powerfully embodied in the use of I statements. Instead of the accusatory, "You always leave the kitchen messy," you shift focus to your own experience. "I feel stressed when the kitchen is messy, because I then have to clean up before I can cook." This presents the issue as a feeling that needs attention, not a flaw that needs correction. Always avoid absolutes like always and never, and commit to timeliness and privacy, approaching dialogue with the goal of solution, not victory. Emotional control. Breathe before you react. 1 second of pause can prevent a conflict that lasts for hours. Emotional control is the deliberate insertion of a micro gap between an external stimulus and your internal response. Without this pause, you operate on pure instinctual reaction, often leading to destructive outcomes. When triggered, your body prepares for fight or flight, shutting down the part of your brain that reasons and empathizes. The simple command, breathe, forces a life-saving interruption, allowing your prefrontal cortex to reassert authority. During this pause, ask yourself 3 questions. Is this true? Is this kind? Is this necessary? The maturity to hold back the initial toxic reaction is the hallmark of a resilient social life and profound inner peace. Master the pause, and you master your life. Collaboration and solidarity offer help, share, support. The simple gestures are what truly connect us. Our social lives are woven fabrics of interdependence, and the threads that bind us most tightly are acts of collaboration and solidarity. This goes beyond grand gestures. It lives in the simple, spontaneous offer of practical support. It's the moment you notice a colleague struggling and offer to take a small task, or remembering a friend had a tough week and dropping off a supportive text. Solidarity means seeing yourself as a member of a team, family, work, or friends. The most potent form of collaboration involves sharing your expertise and allowing yourself to be helped, giving others the gift of being valuable to you. Simple gestures like genuinely celebrating another person's success without envy are the currencies of connection. They remind us that we are stronger together, transforming acquaintances into genuine allies. Respect for differences. Not everyone thinks or lives like you do, and that is perfectly fine. Coexisting is accepting. The capacity to extend respect for differences is the ultimate test of social maturity. It means acknowledging the right of another human being to hold their perspective and follow their own life choices, provided they are not causing harm. Respecting a difference does not mean agreeing with it. It means accepting its validity for them. When confronted with a viewpoint that challenges your beliefs, the path is curiosity, not conversion. Instead of attacking the conclusion, you seek to understand the premise by asking, what life experiences have led you to this understanding? Every person who thinks differently is a window into a new complex reality. By accepting that difference is not a threat, but a source of collective richness, you create a truly inclusive and robust social ecosystem. Taking responsibility. Did you make a mistake? Admit it. Apologize. This strengthens, not weakens, your image. A refusal to take ownership of a misstep universally erodes trust. The default reaction of the ego, blame-shifting or excuse-making, is perceived as weak. Taking responsibility, conversely, is an act of quiet strength that requires courage and self-awareness. It is the willingness to look squarely at the situation and utter the simple, powerful phrase, "I was wrong, I apologize." A true apology must contain 3 elements. 1. Acknowledgement of what you did wrong. I realize I wasted your time. 2. Expression of remorse. I am truly sorry for causing you that stress. And 3. Repair, commitment to change. From now on, I will call you back by the end of the day. This action closes the emotional distance and shows that you value the relationship more than your own ego, certifying your integrity and making you a reliable social partner. Establishing boundaries. Love, help, participate. But don't forget about yourself. Saying no is also self-care. A boundary is not a wall to keep others out. It is a fence built to define where you end and another person begins, protecting the integrity of your own life. Confusing generosity with martyrdom leads to burnout and resentment, collapsing the very relationships you try to sustain. Establishing boundaries is the essential self-care that makes sustainable generosity possible. Boundaries can be on your time, emotional capacity, or respect. Communicating them must be done respectfully and assertively. I appreciate you asking, but I need to say no to new commitments right now to protect my current priorities. When you consistently uphold your boundaries, you teach others how to treat you, increasing the respect others have for you. Strong, healthy relationships are built on the clarity of well-defined boundaries. Gratitude and recognition. Express thanks more often. Small acknowledgements create powerful connections. Gratitude is the emotional nutrient that feeds every strong relationship. We often take people for granted, the partner, the colleague, the friend, and when their actions become routine, they fade into the background. Recognition is the antidote to this invisibility. It's the conscious act of shining a spotlight on their contribution, affirming their worth. The key to powerful recognition is specificity. A generic thanks lacks impact. A transformative expression sounds like this. Thank you so much for taking the time to review that report. Your suggestion on the 3rd section was exactly what we needed. I really value your attention to detail. This shows you paid attention to their effort, making the acknowledgement personal and meaningful. Make a daily habit of finding and verbalizing things to be grateful for in your interactions. Honesty and consistency. Be reliable. When your actions align with your words, relationships flourish. Honesty and consistency are the twin pillars upon which the entire edifice of trust is built. Honesty is a commitment to integrity, presenting yourself and your intentions truthfully, and being authentic about your feelings and limitations. If you cannot keep a promise, honesty means saying so up front. Consistency is the proof of honesty. It means your actions reliably follow your words. If you say you will be there, you are there. Consistency is what separates the person who is nice from the person who is trustworthy. Niceness is a mood. Trustworthiness is a pattern of behavior. When your actions and words align, you create a profound sense of security. Your friends, family, and colleagues know exactly where they stand with you, freeing the relationship from anxiety and allowing it to flourish. Adopting these 10 behaviors doesn't just transform your social life and the quality of your external interactions, but it profoundly enhances your internal life, leading to a lasting sense of inner peace. If this guide resonated with you, let us know by hitting that like button. And more importantly, share this video with someone who you think needs to hear this message today. Your journey to a healthier social life begins now. Thank you for watching. If you liked this, hit the like button and share it with someone who needs to hear this today.